Hi everybody, this is Sam Clausen and this is my reflection for week 12 in internet safety. So I'll be answering the 3 questions, and to start off, the first question is, using information from the provided sources, why is internet safety so important, and what is your role as an educator in teaching internet safety to your students? And describe how you can teach internet safety in your future classroom. So I believe that internet safety is so important because basically everyone uses the internet these days. That includes our students, our children, parents, grandparents, and even bad guys. And so if a person is not safe and responsible while using the internet, they can easily put themselves in a dangerous situation or find themselves looking at something that they should not be looking at. I believe my role as an educator in this day and age is to help students learn how to explore the internet in a safe way. It is not something we can just avoid and hope nothing bad happens. The conversation must happen. So I believe parents are the first line of defense here, but oftentimes parents are too busy or not involved enough to teach their children how to properly use the internet. Ways I can teach students internet safety is talking to them about things we should never post online, teach them how to identify a stranger online and what kind of things we do and do not say to strangers. Having students watch internet safety videos, have students practice and act out internet scenarios, make rules and guidelines very clear for my classroom, and much more. For older students, I would definitely show them the videos of people in real life, like teenagers and children who are kind of set up by their parents to meet someone, and it shows them just how dangerous it can be. So the next question is, what are your thoughts after exploring the NetSmarts website and completing the Teaching Digital Citizen training program? Do I feel the training program is relevant and useful for all educators? So I think NetSmarts and the Teaching Digital Citizen training program was very helpful as a future educator, and I definitely think it's relevant and useful. I like how it gave different suggestions for each level that you may teach. Someone who wants to teach kindergarten through probably 3rd grade, depending where I'm teaching, whether it be like urban or rural, some of the content might have to be tailored, such as like the online sexual solicitation and sexting for that age group. Obviously, I feel these are important for students to know about, but in a public school, I believe there'd be a line that you have to not cross. I thought the cyberbullying section was very important. This has definitely been on the rise, I believe, and it's important for students to realize that their actions, even online, have severe consequences. So the last question is, reflect on the main points described in the Youth Safety article by Furuk, Sadwick, and Valassiner, and describe what useful information I will be able to take away from the article. So this was a really good article. It was just had tons of good information. The section on cyberbullying was very informative, and it's interesting to me that students who may seem to not be bullies at all in real life can use the internet as a way to bully without having to show their face. I also find it interesting that there are many similarities between the motives of traditional bullying and cyberbullying, which I guess would make sense, but I don't know. Anyways, the preventive strategies were also quite helpful. They talked about how when students have a clear definition of what respecting others looks like, they tend to follow these guidelines. So I think, having your classroom and having rules and guidelines set up and teaching kids how to respect each other on the internet is very important. The sexual solicitation section was full of scary but helpful stuff. And it's sad that it is so prevalent, but it is so important for students to be aware of this. As a future teacher and parent, I will definitely use some of the recommendations that the paper suggests, such as monitoring internet use and keeping up to date with technology so that I know what my students and children are doing and looking at, teaching about cyberbullying and internet safety, and much more. So thank you. Hope you all had a great week.